Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the concept of refraction. Refraction. Refraction is defined as the phenomena of bending of light when it travels from one medium to another. So for refraction, there should be two different mediums involved. Here first medium is air, second medium is glass. If a ray of light is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. This is angle of incidence and this is angle of refraction. Here you can see that angle I is greater than angle R. In the same way, if a ray of light travels from denser medium to a rarer medium, it bends away from normal. Here you can see angle of incidence is less than angle of refraction. Now, first and foremost thing, as the definition says, that refraction is defined as the phenomena of bending of light. Now the question arises that why the ray bends? The ray bends because there is a change in density, and because of the change in density there is change in velocity. So the velocity changes because of which the ray bends. Now this is the complete phenomena. This is the incident ray. The ray which strikes the refracting surface is known as incident ray. The angle formed between the incident ray and the normal is known as angle of incidence. The separator between two different medium is known as interface. This is the angle of refraction. This is refracted ray. This is emergent ray. And it is known as angle of emergence. Now refracted ray. The ray which gets refracted because of the phenomena of refraction is known as refracted ray. The angle formed between the refracted ray and the normal is known as angle of refraction. The ray which emerges out after the phenomena of refraction is known as emergent ray. And the angle formed between the emergent ray and the normal is known as angle of emergence. In the same diagram, I will explain you one more phenomena. If the ray would have passed without refraction, means that if the incident ray would have passed in this way, so what happened? If you will compare, so because of the phenomena of refraction, there is a shifting in the path and or bending, and this bending is nothing but perpendicular shift. Perpendicular shift in the path of incident ray because of the phenomena of refraction is known as lateral shift. It is known as lateral shift or lateral displacement. So if you will see the diagram, because of the phenomena of refraction, the incident ray passes from this way, and if the ray would have not passed refraction, the ray would have passed in this way. So the shifting in the path is known as perpendicular shift, and this perpendicular shift is nothing but it is known as lateral shift or lateral displacement. If someone asks you what are the factors on which lateral shift depends, so first factor is lateral shift is directly proportional to thickness of glass slab. Second factor is lateral shift is directly proportional to angle of incidence. Third factor is lateral shift is directly proportional to refractive index. About refractive index just now we will discuss. And fourth factor is lateral shift is inversely proportional to wavelength. About refraction, already we have discussed. Now laws of refraction. See, the first law suggests that the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal at the point of incidence lies at the same plane. The incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal at the point of incidence lies at the same plane. And the second law indicates that sine of angle of incidence to sine of angle of refraction always remains constant, and that is known as refractive index. It means that if we are increasing the angle of incidence, based on that the angle of refraction will also change. But the sine value of angle of incidence and the sine value of angle of refraction, if we will take out the ratio, it always remains constant. In case of glass, it is 1.5. So if we are changing the angle of incidence, based on that the angle of refraction will also change. But when you will take out the ratio, it will always come to 1.5. Now, about refractive index, if the definition is asked, define refractive index. So you will say that refractive index is defined as the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to sine of angle of refraction. Now, one more definition is asked from here, that is Snell's law. So, if it is asked define Snell's law, then in that case you will say that the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to sine of angle of refraction is constant. It is known as refractive index, and this law was given by Snell. That's why it is known as Snell's law. Means Snell was the scientist who gave this law. Students, I think so this much you have understood. In the next class we will